So if we look at a visual representation, previously we were committing to a Git repository by clicking save, and then we were doing a build and publish within the Algorithmia interface. Now what we're going to do is insert a CI/CD system to do an automated build and publish whenever we push our code changes to Git. That'll end up as a new version in Algorithmia. So let's take a look and see what that looks like. So I'm going to go to a different algorithm here. We have the same model, credit card approval. We're just going to add in some automation as we move our model to production. So this is the same idea. We have a Python-based scikit-learn model. And what I'm going to do here is click on the source code tab. Here, this is actually hosted in an external Git repository that can be in GitHub or GitHub Enterprise. And so here, when I click source code, I can see all of my algorithms files in the Git repo here, including the serving function that we were looking at before. So what I'm going to do now is I'll open up my text editor and we'll navigate to this Git repository. So I've cloned this Git repository onto my local machine. And let's go inside of our serving function. So here again, we're serving version A. I'd like to switch to version B. Again, this could be any kind of change to your serving function that you need to do. And then let's go over to our directory that holds this information. And so here's our serving function. Here's the change that I just made. So I'll zoom in here so you can see a little better. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and commit and push this change. So let's do a git commit and say switch to a different model version. And then I'm going to do a git push. So in this case, what's going to happen is that we've pushed a change to our Git repository for our algorithm. If I go back into Algorithmia, into the Builds tab, you'll notice before we were using the built-in editor and clicking build and publish. This time we're using our favorite IDE or editor, and instead of clicking build and publish, I just did a git push. And so through CI, let's take a look at the CI system that's at work here. So GitHub Actions is one of the CI tools that we integrate with. A lot of our other users use things like Jenkins or Azure DevOps pipelines or things like that. But basically, any kind of CI system can invoke a job that can talk to Algorithmia, whether that's creating a new algorithm, building a version of an algorithm, or actually publishing a new version. So this one is using GitHub Actions, and you can find some of our recipes in the GitHub Marketplace that you can grab and use in your own Algorithmia instance or account. And so what this is doing, if we look into this CI job while it's running, this is going to basically build a new version of an algorithm and then publish a new API version of that. So all of the things I did before in the UI that were manual are now fully automated. So you can see this build has succeeded, and the last step of the CI system is going to be to publish this new version. So right now you'll notice we're at version 2, and in a few moments the CI job will finish and version 3 will be published based on what I just pushed. So there we go. So version 3 is published now and it's ready to be consumed. I can take one of these language snippets at the bottom, whether that's a Python app that I have or a dashboard or a Java app, and it's pre-configured to use the latest version. So there's version 3, and I could roll this out as a new version of my model that's ready to be consumed. So that's how you can automate a lot of the build and publish steps and make MLOps as simple as a git push